Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the escalating drama surrounding Drew Cain's shocking theft of precious Quartermaine family heirlooms. A scandal that's igniting calls for his immediate arrest. In the riveting world of Port Charles, where loyalties fracture like fragile glass, General Hospital spoilers tease a potential downfall for the ambitious Congressman Drew Cain, who now teeters on the edge of criminal charges for outright pilfering. Picture this amid the opulent halls of the Quartermaine mansion, symbols of generations past gleaming silver, candelabras etched with family crests, antique porcelain vases holding whispers of bygone eras, and velvet-lined jewelry. Boxes brimming with heirloom gems have vanished under Drew's calculated orders. Fans across social media platforms are erupting in a digital storm, demanding handcuffs for this audacious lawmaker, who flaunts his ill-gotten gains like a trophy hunter. The outcry echoes through Twitter threads and Facebook groups with hashtags like Cain trending as viewers dissect every smug detail of his scheme. This isn't just petty jealousy. It's a collective roar from loyal soap enthusiasts who've watched a Quartermaine legacy erode under outsiders' greedy grasps. Drew's actions strike at the heart of family honor, transforming cherished relics into weapons in his personal vendetta against the elite clan that once welcomed him. As the plot thickens, one can't help but wonder if this brazen move will finally strip away his veneer of invincibility, exposing the opportunist beneath. Flashback to the tense confrontation in the November episode where tensions boiled over in a scene dripping with betrayal and indignation. Under the chandelier-lit scrutiny of the Quartermaine living room, Drew confessed to Ned Quartermaine with a chilling nonchalance, revealing how he personally dialed the moving company to orchestrate the swift transport of those invaluable treasures straight to his doorstep. The air grew thick as Ned's face contorted in disbelief, his voice rising like a thunderclap as he labeled the act nothing short of grand larceny. Those heirlooms steeped in Quartermaine history from a gilded pocket. Watch that ticked through Alan Quartermaine's early business triumphs too. A lace-armed shawl worn by Leela at her wedding. Drew's to claim, Ned thundered, emphasizing their unbreakable ties to the family's bloodline. Yet Drew, ever the defiant figure, lounged back with a predatory smile, insisting the items were now his domain and deriving twisted delight from denying the Quartermaines even a glimpse. This moment wasn't mere dialogue. It was a masterclass in character escalation, showcasing Drew's evolution from reformed soldier to unrepentant plunderer. The camera lingered on Ned's clenched fists, hinting at the storm brewing, while subtle background details like scattered family photos underscored the personal stakes. Such vivid storytelling keeps viewers glued, pondering if Ned's fury will catalyze a broader unraveling of Drew's empire. As the dust settled from that explosive admission, Ned's resolve hardened into a vow of vengeance that promises fireworks in upcoming episodes. With the fire of ancestral pride fueling him, Ned unleashed a passionate tirade, vowing to drag Drew through the courts in a blistering lawsuit to reclaim every pilfered piece down to the last engraved spoon from Edward Quartermaine's silver service. Legal experts in the fan community are buzzing about potential charges from civil rebel to outright Felony theft under Connecticut statutes. Given the mansion's local. But for the devoted audience, a courtroom battle. Feels too lenient. Social media is ablaze. With petitions and memes depicting Drew in orange jumpsuits urging the Port Charles PD to intervene swiftly. Comments flooding, lock him up. The court remains built this town. Andrew is just a leech. This push reflects a deeper frustration with soap justice, where villains often slink away unscathed. But here the momentum feels palpably different. Ned's determination adds layers to his arc, transforming him from a sideline figure into a crusading patriarch ready to wield the law like a quartering broadsword. If the writers lean into this, we could see depositions filled with explosive testimonies, cross-examinations that dredge up Drew's murky past and perhaps even surprise witnesses from his Aurora days who harbor their own grudges. Yet, the fans' clamor for arrest stems from a profound sense of injustice tied to Monica Quartermain's poignant final wishes. In a heartbreaking twist earlier this year, Monica's will shockingly omitted Drew entirely, severing any claim he might fabricate to her estate's treasures items, like her collection of rare first edition books inscribed with personal notes from her late husband Alan. This exclusion wasn't arbitrary. It was Monica's quiet rebuke to Drew's relentless self-interest, a decision that left him seething and now justifies his vengeful grab in his twisted mind. Viewers point out that Drew's audacity knows no bounds. He's already dodged scandals from insider trading whispers to romantic entanglements that border on manipulation. Yet, this theft crosses into unforgivable territory. Online forums dissect how his exclusion fueled a bitter resentment, turning a man who once sought redemption into a full-throated antagonist. It's a narrative goldmine exploring themes of entitlement and legacy with fans theorizing that Monica's ghost might metaphorically haunt Drew through mounting evidence against him, denying him these spoils isn't just poetic. It's a fan-fueled demand for accountability in a show where comeuppance is as essential as the next plot twist. Compounding Drew's villain is his callous abandonment of Ned during a harrowing health scare, a detail that paints him as more scoundrel than statesman. As Ned grappled with chest pains and labored breaths in the episode's aftermath. Perhaps a scripted nod to real life heart conditions that plague the elite. Drew simply walked away, prioritizing his loot over basic humanity. This isn't isolated. It's emblematic of Drew's pattern. From betraying trusted allies in boardroom battles to sidestepping family crises at every turn. Fans on Reddit threads label him a dirty rotten scoundrel, drawing parallels to classic soap baddies like Faison, but with a modern political edge that makes his crimes hit harder. Such abandonment amplifies the theft's severity, suggesting Drew's moral compass is shattered beyond repair. If producers amplify this, we might witness Ned's recovery arc intersecting with the legal pursuit, maybe even a hospital bedside confession that rallies the court. Remains. It's these interconnected threads that elevate General Hospital, weaving personal betrayals into a tapestry of high-stakes drama. Drew's recent brush with mortality, the shocking shooting that left him bloodied and broken, served as zero deterrent. only emboldening his descent into darker deeds. Bullets flew in a chaotic warehouse ambush tied to his congressional probes. Yet posteriori, Drew emerged not humbled, but hyper-aggressive. His smug grin wider than ever. Far from reflecting on near death, he's doubled down, using the incident to justify his me-first ethos. Claiming survival entitles him to seize what's rightfully his. This evolution frustrates longtime viewers who hope the trauma would spark growth. Instead, it's morphed him into a more insidious foe, plotting from shadows with calculated precision. Analysis of fan poll shows % rooting for his takedown, viewing the shooting as a missed opportunity for redemption. In soap lore, such events often pivot characters think Sonny's multiple deaths. But Drew's stasis bucks the trend, heightening anticipation for a reckoning. Perhaps the heirloom heist is the catalyst, drawing in unlikely allies like a vengeful Michael or a tip from Insider Scout. As the scandal unfolds, the question on every fan's lips is whether Drew's brazen confession will land him behind bars, delivering the justice Port Charles craves. Social media sleuths are compiling timelines from the moving truck suspicious route to surveillance footage that could seal his fate. Would an arrest scene cuffs clicking amid flashing lights satisfy the masses? Absolutely. Especially given Drew's daily parade of arrogance. That infuriating smirk plastered across his face as he navigates elite circles. Unscathed. Tired of his reign, the consensus screams yes with petitions surpassing, signatures urging writers to pen his perp walk. This isn't hyperbole. It's the pulse of a fandom wary of unchecked villains yearning for a plot where theft meets its match in the long arm of the law. Even if cuffs elude him, Drew's her eyes and darkens with unforeseen hurdles linked to Willow Tate's spiraling legal woes as Willow faces her own courtroom battles, perhaps tied to hidden medical records or custody disputes. Her entanglement could boomerang onto Drew, forcing uncomfortable alliances or exposing shared secrets. Spoilers hint at unpleasant jolts like leaked documents, tying him to her drama or a joint subpoena that unravels his facade. This multi-threaded menace underscores General Hospital's genius. No villain operates in isolation. Whether through arrest or these brewing storms, Drew's confidence is poised to crack, promising twists that will keep us theorizing late into the night. Next, we will learn about the shocking breach in Professor Dalton's mysterious lab and the chilling secrets it might unearth in Port Charles. Fans of the iconic soap have been on the edge of their seats for what feels like an eternity, eagerly anticipating the moment when the truth behind Dalton's enigmatic research would come to light. This week, the drama escalated as a group of daring teenagers, Rocco Falconer, Danny Morgan, and Charlotte Casadini, finally infiltrated the heavily guarded facility, only to discover an eerie emptiness that left them frozen in disbelief. What they encountered wasn't the grotesque horror show they'd imagined, but a pristine, almost sterile space that screamed hidden dangers, raising the stakes for everyone in PC2. Stay vigilant and terrified of what's truly brewing beneath the surface. The infiltration itself was a masterstroke of youthful mischief and unintended betrayal. orchestrated in a way that highlights the vulnerabilities within. Poor Charles tight-knit circles. Brit Westman, ever the complex figure with her divided loyalties, unwittingly set the stage by carelessly leading her lab key fob in a spot ripe for the taking. Perhaps on a coffee table during a hurried meeting or tucked away in her coat pocket at the Metro Court. This small oversight became the golden ticket for the teens who had been whispering plans in the shadows of Kelly's diner, fueled by rumors swirling through the high school grapevine. Led by the bold and inquisitive Emma Drake, the group slipped through the night like ghosts, their hearts pounding as they bypassed security cameras and dodged patrolling guards. The lab's entrance loomed like a forbidden portal, its metallic doors hissing open to reveal not chaos, but an unnerving order that made their victory feel like a hollow prank gone wrong. This breach isn't just a teen adventure. It's a crack in the facade of Dalton's operations, exposing how personal connections can unravel even the most fortified secrets in a town where trust is as fragile as glass. Upon crossing the threshold, the young intruders were met with a sight that defied every whispered tale and nightmare they'd conjured up during late-night study sessions. No rows of iron cages housing whimpering experimented on creatures greeted them, no signs of the animal cruelty they'd suspected based on leaked whispers from hospital insiders. The air was crisp and sterile, devoid of even the slightest speck of dust or a stray hair from some unfortunate lab subject, as if the space had been meticulously sanitized moments before their arrival. Instead, the room gleamed under soft blue lighting dominated by a massive wall-sized screen projecting a swirling ethereal image of spiraling DNA strands that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly life of their own. In the corner, a holographic brain floated serenely on a high-tech monitor, its neural pathways flickering like distant stars in a digital galaxy, rotating slowly as if pondering the intruder's very presence. This bizarre-to-blow turned their excitement into a chill of dread. The lab felt less like a mad scientist's den, and more like a portal to something profoundly unnatural, where science and the supernatural blurred into a nightmare. For the teens, this wasn't triumphant. Was the dawning realization that they'd walked into a web far more intricate and sinister than animal testing could ever be. At the heart of this sterile enigma lies Professor Dalton's official facade. A supposed quest for breakthroughs in cold fusion energy. A topic that's been casually dropped in boardroom chats and scientific symposiums across Port Charles. Yet, the lab's peculiar aesthetic choices, those hypnotic DNA visuals and the lilac brain projection, shatter the illusion of benign research, hinting at pursuits that delve into the forbidden realms of genetics and neurology. What if the absence of animal signals not mercy, but a project so advanced that living subjects are no longer required? Imagine a scenario where Dalton's team has moved beyond initial trials, having already extracted and preserved vital essences from once living beings, now digitized into code for eternal experimentation. The cold fusion narrative could be a smoky-oak screen, diverting attention from genetic splicing or neural mapping that could rewrite human potential or unleash uncontrollable horrors. This discrepancy forces us to scrutinize every official statement from the lab, wondering if the Energy research is just the tip of an iceberg hiding experiments that could destabilize the very fabric of life in PC, turning everyday citizens into unwitting pawns in a high-stakes game of creation and destruction. Diving deeper into the shadows of speculation, the lab's emptiness evokes a haunting possibility. Whatever Dalton was truly working on has vanished, perhaps eradicated in a failed resurrection or a deliberate cover-up to erase traces of a monstrous endeavor. Poor Charles' lore is riddled with tales of the undead and the undying, and none looms larger than Caesar Faison, the diabolical mastermind, whose legacy of terror still sends shivers through the Quarter Mansion and beyond. Faison's demise was no ordinary end. Rumors persist that his brain was salvaged, preserved in a murky jar of preservatives hidden in some forgotten Casadini vault, a trophy of his unyielding evil. Could this be the key to unlocking the lab's secrets? Picture the holographic brain as a digital echo of Faison's intellect, scanned and simulated to test pathways for revival. The absence of physical remnants suggests the project hit a deadly snag. Maybe an explosive overload during fusion attempts fried the organic material, leaving only ghostly projections behind. Or worse, what if fragments of Faison's consciousness were successfully uploaded, now lurking in the lab servers, waiting to hijack a new host? This theory aligns with the show's history of cloning and identity theft, amplifying the fear that PC's past villains aren't truly buried, but evolving into something far more insidious. Enter Jen Sidwell, the enigmatic wild card whose role in this triad of conspiracy adds layers of intrigue and peril to the unfolding mystery. As a shadowy collaborator, Sid Wells' involvement raises red flags, blending his rumored expertise in bioengineering with Dalton's fusion tech and Britt's medical know-how into a potent cocktail of danger. What if Sidwell is the architect of a clandestine protocol designed to resurrect not just Faison's brain, but his entire malevolent essence, transferring memories, grudges, and schemes into a cloned vessel? Evidence from recent episodes shows Sidwell lingering in the lab's periphery, exchanging coded glances with Dalton during late-night meetings, perhaps discussing neural interfaces that could bridge the gap between the dead and the living. Britt's complicity, whether coerced or willing, ties back to her own tangled history with Faison, making her the perfect insider to facilitate such a revival. This alliance isn't mere teamwork. It's a pact with darkness, potentially aiming to weaponize Faison's genius for corporate gain or personal vendettas, like sabotaging rivals at ELQ or targeting the Spencer family. And near the teens' discovery, even if they saw nothing tangible, might have triggered silent alarms, alerting Sidwell to tighten security and accelerate their timeline, putting innocent lives in the crosshairs. Of course, the notion of reviving a long dead-ad villain like Faison might sound like pure soap fantasy, but in today's world of scientific marvels, it's eerily plausible and downright terrifying. Just consider real-life precedents. High-profile figures like Tom Brady have openly discussed cloning their beloved pets, pouring millions into biotech firms to defy mortality's grip on companionship. If a quarterback can replicate his dog to save off grief, why couldn't poor Charles' elite fund a Project to clone a criminal mastermind. 4 power plays? This mirrors broader trends in cryogenics and AI neural mapping where brains are digitized for immortality, blurring ethical lines in ways that echo GH's dramatic twists. In the context of the show, it explains the lab's high textility, no messy biology needed when everything's virtual. Fans should brace for fallout. If Faison's essence is indeed stirring, expect masked apparitions haunting Spoon Island, or encrypted messages taunting key characters like Anna Dean. The cahoots between Sidwell, Britt, and Alton spell trouble on an epic scale, with Faison's name echoing like a curse, priming PC for an invasion of old evils reborn. As the teens process their find, the real horror is just beginning. Port Charles must unite or fall to the ghosts of its past. Stay tuned for more spoilers as this lab nightmare unfolds.